Greetings and welcome back to Stellaris, my United Nations of Earth playthrough. So I went through my start of turn and took care of all of my colonies. All I really did, I distributed luxuries here on Blizzard, I believe. No, I distributed luxuries here on Avalon. I did Blizzard a couple of years ago. So yeah, I want to start getting my research worlds up in population so I can get my research cranked up, because it is still abysmally low. Compared to the other empires, I need to really get a jump start on my research. So I really would like, and I went ahead and switched over to habitability to see if that little bit of progress I've got on psionic theory keeps it saved next time. Other than that, I noticed that I have only 2 research planets that do not have a scientist assisting research. Well, I have at least 2 science ships out here exploring, so when they finish, I have the ships are ready to come back here. I might, now that I'm starting to lose a lot of higher level scientists, go back to doing surveys, because the whole point of that is to level up the low level scientist. This, actually, as soon as he finishes his surveys and does the archaeological site, he would be available to assist Dis, wherever Dis is. I guess Dis is on the other side of the Empire, so yeah. Maybe he will end up going to Blizzard then, because it is Blizzard and Dis, and I think this is Dis, yes, are the 2 research planets I have that do not have anybody assisting research. Now, I did throw out, when I was going through all of my envoys, I found out I can do some more pacts with the Garanshu to help raise relations. And I also sent out a few more agreements, I think, to the League of Brienne States. I decided to go ahead, one way to boost them to where we can get a federation fairly soon, is to go ahead and guarantee their independence. And yes, all of this is going to bleed into my poor monthly gain of influence, but so be it. But I believe my minerals are just about getting where they need to be. I've already completed the mandate for this president, so provided this president survives to the next election cycle, I will have that. Now, my plan is to get my fleets up and running fairly soon. They're just about at full capacity, and I think after I get plasteel and advanced combat roles, I may go ahead and do an upgrade of all of them. It depends on what my next researches are. I also went ahead and created the, changed the Farpoint hangar to be my hangar that uses the amoeba, and created a new one for the strike craft. I'm upgrading all the existing ones to have the amoebas, and then I will churn out one to go along with them that have the strike craft. And also, I think I know why this system is unclaimed. I believe this has 3 planets in it, including a Gaia world. It's in a nebula, so I can't see into it. I believe that's going to be where the Tiyanki matriarch is. I believe that's why they haven't claimed the system, is there is a Tiyanki matriarch.
Ship upgrades applied.
In that area. So yes, the Garanshu have agreed to a trade pact. Now that is another thing. While clerks seem useless because the trade value is less than what you get from a technician, I have thought of something. It's your actual trade value that determines what people get from commercial agreements with you, which makes them more likely to accept. So having clerks does improve the diplomatic value of commercial pacts with you. Alright, let's get a Guam hangar going for these 2. I do not have the alloys for that one right now. You know what? I don't feel like waiting. I need 200 and something. We'll buy 250. Yeah, sure. And just go ahead and get that last hangar popped out. Okay, they accepted my... I knew they were going to. Accepted my guarantee of independence. And the Granshu accepted my research agreement. The last 4 ships should be out by September. Baneth nutritional slurry is not people. The ingredients are secret and very healthy. We offer you the exclusive Trium Bauble collection. This assortment of fashionable trinkets and gewgaws is sure to both dazzle and distract your populace. All this for the low, low price of 1 science ship, excluding the crew. We don't need them, no. Actual value of consumer goods may differ in the eye of the beholder. Trium Bauble. Oh, that's just a bunch of consumer goods. Not interested in that. I don't have a science ship to spare. I can't choose which science ship they take. They'll take one at random, which may screw up some of my distant people. It's funny that the Vingralium Trium is the only ones I've been getting agreements from. I wonder if the others have been destroyed. Because normally there are 3 of these trade fleets that roam around, but I am not seeing any but the one that keeps coming into my system from Chor's Compass. The Vingralian Trium, or Vingralian Trium. The other 2 have not been back into my system for a long time. League of Brian States subjugated the Ubaric Alliance. Okay. Fire tribes of Kel have become more xenophilic. They have embraced the Xeno Reform Initiative. Let's have a look at what their government is now. Erudite explorers. Can I form a federation with them yet? Not quite, but we are very close. It would only take, since they're erudite explorers, it would only take 5 favors with them. I think it's time we started working on favors. What we're going to do is offer a trade deal. Let's see. Favors for you are 50 apiece. Let's say I wanted 5 favors right now. Let's make it 6. If I want 6 favors from you, what resources could you possibly be interested in? I have a lot of dark matter. Have you any interest in dark matter, perchance? How much dark matter do I have? 500? What would 400 get me? Quite a bit. And I'll get that back. What about volatile motes? Have you any interest in them? Not control shift. $773. So most of my dark matter and about half of my volatile motes. What about minerals? If I gave you 1,000 minerals. Nope, that's only 9. Whereas the volatile motes, 10 of them is 3. So yeah, that would actually be a lot of volatile motes. How much is the dark matter? 10 of them is 3. So 1,000 minerals would actually go pretty far. I could drop down these a little bit, but you know what? Doesn't really matter that much what I am giving them. What about energy credits? How much do you value them? Not as much as minerals. How about food? You don't really value food at all. Consumer goods. You don't really value them either. Alloys, what about 100 alloys? Well, that's more than 100, but yeah, you don't value them as much as minerals. That's pretty much it. Now, one thing I could do is trade favors for favors. Let's say I gave them 5 favors in exchange for 6 favors. Then I wouldn't have to give so much of this. I wouldn't have to give any dark matter. Let's see. I could give them 7 favors for 6 favors. I think that's worth it. Yeah, they'll call on those favors later. I'm okay with that. Because that would enable me to go ahead and get a federation going. And that would pull them and the Pirac both into a federation with me. Their relations would start improving with each other. A Hazar Pact likes us both, and it will cut down on my influence cost, because I will lose the defensive pacts, so that's a whole point I will get back, though it will end up costing me half a point for having the, what's the word I'm looking for, federation. I could drop the research agreements because they would be guaranteed between those two, so that's another 2.5. So in the end, it would end up giving me 0.75 back, I believe, which should be enough to get me back up a point. And eventually I could make it to where the migration packs between the two of us don't exist. Or I don't need to spend on them. We shall see how it goes. So the League of Brian States is now in a research agreement with them, the Uberic Alliance. Fire Tribes of Kel agreed to that, so, hello, Fire Tribes of Kel. Let's form a federation. Let's form a research cooperative. We can do it for 5 favors, have 1 spare favor. This federation is leaning toward a technocracy, wherein universal truth and uneasy progress are in focus. Base intel on Federation members is set to a minimum of 50, modified by Federation centralization. Free and automatic research agreements between all Federation members. Once established, we can try and invite other empires to join it. Their trust will increase by 0.133 each month to a maximum of 150. Let us try it. Let's get a research cooperative going. Because if the Fire Tribes of Kale agree, the Pirac will automatically be drawn in, and we will have a 3-person federation going. And we should be able to get the Hazar Pact in fairly soon. And then hopefully my work with the Brian States will allow us to bring them in. When they come in, they will also bring in the Uberic Alliance and the Sondrathan Star hierarchy. They're 2 vassals. But let us see how this pans out.
An alien nation is Hades.
The United Nations of Earth has been chosen as the new president of the Galactic Technologist Alliance. Let history record that on this day, the governments of the United Nations of Earth and the Pirac hierarchy signed a treaty of federation. As founding members of the Galactic Technologist Alliance, they will now face the future as firm allies. This research cooperative will prove the scientists of all its member states will provide the scientists of all its member states with new opportunities to pool their knowledge. A new era of technological advancement has begun. After successfully translating their language, we have established communications with the Zurikor. Diplomatic channels are now open and all hostilities are terminated. I got influence for that, even though I wasn't doing a first contact. Welcome to Zurikor. We are a business conglomerate operating out of the Durban system, specializing in trade. The very building blocks of civilization, as we like to say here at Zurikor. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you are interested in making a good deal. Where are you guys located? Let's go to contacts. Let's look at Zurikor. That leaves 1 enclave yet to encounter. Where are you guys? The Durban system. There. So the minute I got sensors with you guys, I immediately met you. Interesting. Let's go ahead and move there. That will get us sight on this sector and that sector. Now this is an unclaimed sector. You are level 1. You know what? Survey that system, then move there. you do need some levels going here. So I wonder what is nestled there. Now, let's go back to Zeracor real quick, because I believe they offer exotic gases, which is the one I need. And there's no person here. This is another bug. I don't believe I'm going to be getting reputation for these guys because it's not actually showing up the species. Perhaps you need minerals for building more ships. Perhaps you need them for building orphanages. Here at Zeracor, we make it our business not to care. Yes, exotic gases. This is a product that we here at Zeracor are particularly proud of. Our medical division has recently begun refining a gas with unique properties that will significantly ease the often difficult process of adapting to foreign planetary environment. It is, however, unlikely to be compatible with alien physiology. We are willing to export our exotic gas to you for a period of 10 standard years, after which the contract will have to be renegotiated. So we will do that at the start of next year. Because I like to do my deals on January 1st. But yeah, that's another bug. Both of the merchants I've encountered are not actually tied to the species that are part of them. Well, it's showing the species up here now. Let's see. If I go to diplomacy here, yeah, it's still, for some reason, I think it's a bug from when they upgraded. I am not getting, with the two merchant factions, I am not getting, reputation. Because it's not tying that species to the actual enclave. Which is annoying because that means I will never be able to hire governors from them because I cannot raise their opinion. And like I said, that's a bug. So we now have a new federation. They agreed to join. So actually the Fire Tribes of Kel and I were the founding members, with the Pirac just being a member. Now we currently have no cohesion whatsoever. We are losing 10 cohesion every month. So we are going to pull the envoy out of the galactic community to see if that helps. We're still down -4. We need more envoys in here. So I believe we'll pull the one out of the Fire Tribes of Kel right now as well, because we need to start upping our cohesion. Our cohesion is very negative right now. We need to improve it. Hopefully the Pirac and the Fire Tribes of Kel will put ones in as well so we can raise the cohesion fairly quickly. And I went with random name, of course. So we just have the 3 members. We do not have access to fleets yet. To be able to get fleets, we have to have at least low Federation centralization. That also requires level 2 on the Federation. To change any of these others, we're going to need at least level 2, if not higher. Actually, that was medium, wasn't it? Yes. I need medium centralization, so I need to be level 3 before we actually get a Federation fleet. Free migration also requires medium, so we have to be level 3 before we get that. But for now, it does free up. My defensive packs will go away, and some of my research agreements will drop. Actually, they may have already dropped the research agreements. But now they are my Federation members, the Fire Tribes of Kel, which means that if I am now attacked, I have the Fire Tribes of Kel and the Pirac helping me. So I can actually drop that the Pirac have to join in my defensive wars, because they have to join in my defensive wars because we're in the same Federation. It's a little bitty loophole that can reduce how much their actual subject loyalty is being changed.
Construction completed.
Blorgsbane, my final starbase to upgrade. So we need a fleet academy here. And then we'll worry about if I want to throw out more anchorages, which I probably do. I think what I'm going to do is put together some fleets of corvettes that are just specifically doing the patrols for piracy, and then reserve my actual fleets for when I need them for conflict. How much piracy suppression do my fleets do? 310?
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Plastil is an elastic material that combines many of the qualities of plastic and metal. It is relatively cheap to produce and can be used to augment ship armor. I don't see the next level of armor on here. Railguns. That's one I could knock out. And that actually looks like the cheapest to knock out is the railgun. I really do want to get habitats. I'm hoping to get my research up a little bit more first. And let's knock out a few more of these components. It'll take me 10 months to get the railguns. About the time I get the habitability increase for hostile environment adaptation. So I guess I will wait for the railguns before I do my ship upgrades. That shouldn't be too much longer after the advanced combat rolls, and I might find something I can get knocked out up here as well. Our starbase in the Procyon system reports the Orlan Memorial Caravan fleet has evacuated and abandoned a decrepit ship, now in an unstable orbit around the system's central star. One man's trash.
Situation log has been updated.
That requires a construction ship. Where are you located? Near Procyon. Oh, well, would you look at that? He's almost made it back to Earth. Research the projects in the system. The Orlan Memorial Caravan is part of the Vingralium Triumph. So they just abandoned a ship there in Procyon that I'm going to be able to salvage. They have each contributed a envoy, so I can move an envoy back to, I believe it was the Fire Tribes of Kel I pulled it out of. Yes. But I'm going to leave it here for now. As a matter of fact, I may assign the one from the Pirac as well, just to get the cohesion up a little faster. So yeah, let us pull the one out of the Pirac as well. We want that cohesion to climb up a little faster so that we can start earning experience.
Research concluded.
Further advances in predictive algorithms for augmented tactical decision-making in the field. Extended combat algorithms. Give me the advanced combat rolls. Chemical plants, more research. Now that one is very expensive. The advanced hyperdrive, blue lasers. That one would take 5 months. So yes, once we get the railguns, I think we will be at a point where we can upgrade the ships. This gives an additional quick upgrade. And then we'll probably, if this one's available, knock it out because it's a dead-end tech and it'll stop showing up. We might even get the chemical plants. That's the last refinery I believe we need. And we'll know our ship gets there when this timed project icon disappears because it'll be working on it. How long does that one actually take? 6 months. So 6 months from now, we should have that salvage done. And the Noble is idle, and I have forgotten about it. So let's move to the Eye of Baal. Actually, no. Go ahead and move all the way to there. That should get me all of the vision of their areas around here. And we can push up through the Hazar Pact and see what's in the Forbidden Nebula. We could offer them association status. Both the Pirac and the Fire Tribes are interested in doing it. So let us do that since nobody else has suggested it. It will increase trust even further between all of us. And of course I'm voting yes. I wonder, let's see. Both of them are interested in offering the Brienne association status as well. So we'll do that one as well. Alright, it only took a majority. So just with the Fire Tribes agreeing, we have association status with the Hazar Pact. And we agreed to offer them association status as well. The Hazar Pact agreed, as did the League of Brienne States. The Hithians have opened their borders back to us. Bondol Restol has become an expert in computing. Where are you? Ah, so we now have yet another computing expert. Because the one over here is also a computing expert. What do we have here? The Enigmatic Fortress. Yes, this thing is quite a feat. In one of my previous games, the one that I based the role-playing game on that I had, it was in a system that disabled shields, which made this a very ugly fight, because I had to basically refit, I think it was 4 fleets to be all armor and hull upgrades to be able to take it on. They've got a hyper relay. They're useless on its own. A chain of hyper relays allows for faster... Oh, that's just a regular hyper relay. They just show up as those icons. I thought that was something major, because these guys have hyper relays. But they're not showing up. Why do you have a special hyper relay? All of my fleets are fully reinforced now. I'm still at about half of the naval coverage I should have for my empire size. I am gaining a significant amount more of unity now. As a matter of fact, I'm getting close to being able to renegotiate with the Hazar Pact. I think January I should be able to do it and get more holdings through them. And after that, I believe I'm going to be banking my influence for habitats when I unlock them. Okay, this is the year that we have to renew the curator agreement. So we're going to do that. Let us check our other agreements. The mutagen deal will last another 3 years. We do need to keep that one going. Patron of the Arts will last another 8 years? No, that's 9 years. 9 years. Yeah, just add 360 to it, you get 3,600. So yeah, that would be 9 years. Festival of Worlds expires at the same time as the mutagen deal. So let's see, I guess next year we will get the deal with the Zeracor. And then the year after that, we will get started on... actually, no, we can go ahead and do the... What do you call it? Scrappers to get more research with engineering now. Let's see, can you help us with our engineering research? Yeah, that's 3,000. That'll bring us down to 9,000. But let's do it. And in 5 years, we have to remember to renew it again. I know what I will be saving my influence for after we renegotiate the deal. I have a couple of worlds I need to get started on Mastery of Nature for. So yes, that's what we will be saving our influence for. We'll distribute luxury goods on Dis, so we can get it up and running as a research world. Alright, let's drop Overlord conflicts to none, and up that to 4. So we'll be losing 2 monthly loyalty over what we have now. That'll still give us positive 3. So I believe that's all we really need to do. Actually, we can go ahead and say we'll join all your conflicts because they're in a federation with us. If they do an offensive war, we get to vote on it, and we're going to join it anyway. So that will reduce the drain even more. It cost me 125 to do this instead of, if I'd left this, it was 175, right? Yeah, so that worked out. I could actually up how much research they're giving me. No, I do not have the influence to do that. But there's no real need to drain their research further, honestly. I don't want to be an overbearing overlord. I just want to get some benefit out of all that I'm giving them. So yeah. That will work. And that still leaves me 50 banked so that when I get another 100, I can start a Mastery of Nature on one of my other worlds.
Research concluded.
1 year of collaborative study has really whisked by. The way I hear it, our engineers picked up a few tips from you as well as from us. However, the agreed upon time is now elapsed. We could use those keen-minded apprentices of ours back home. That is, unless you're willing to compensate us for a while longer. We just already agreed to it. So, yeah. So they would have come up with a pop-up telling me I needed to renew it. More powerful than red lasers, these blue variants emit electromagnetic radiation at a wavelength that appears blue or violet to most organics. So 3 months till we get the railguns. I don't really have plasma throwers or anything like that right now. Getting the upgraded code breaking, I'm not really doing espionage. I don't really plan on using disruptors, honestly. So yeah, it's either going to be the plasma throwers, unlocking them so I can add them to designs, or the code breaking, which will unlock further espionage and covert activities. Let's go ahead and get the code breaking for now, and then see what we get after that. Because in if I'd gotten the other one, the plasma throwers, that would put just 7 months before I would want to redesign ships again. I'd rather get something that's going to take a longer time before I do more ship upgrades. But we're going to knock out the code breaking, and we'll have all of these before the year is out. Okay, they agreed to the changes. Now we can start building more holdings in the Pirac. So let us check their colonies. Let's see, if I select one of your colonies and use the arrows, can I go through your colonies? Yes. Alright, so 2946, that's got a high population. $41. Another 41. Alright, so this 46 is building research complexes. They're upgrading to do more research. Let us add a satellite campus there. That gives 2 academic jobs, which will give both of us research. Now let's look at those 41s I saw. This one is a trade center, as is this one. So both of these are kind of set up as trade worlds. This one is larger. What can we put here? A Ministry of Extraction that produces minerals for the subject and minerals for the overlord. as well as alloy. Well, it takes minerals away from the subject and gives it to me. It takes alloys away from them and gives it to me. The aid agency provides amenities for them and unity for me. The Emporium transfers energy credits to the Overlord in exchange for amenities. That improves planetary build speed. That boosts their loyalty and reduces crime. So yeah, let's do another satellite campus here. So we've got 2 satellite campuses on their worlds now, or we'll have them within a year, or just a little over a year. 384 days is actually 13 months, I believe, just under.
The special project has concluded.
Likely due to the vessel being a civilian transport, the shipboard databases were not fully scrubbed as part of the decommissioning process. So while nothing else of value was found aboard the ship, our data scientists have managed to recover potential references to some unknown alien technologies. So we gained autocannons as a research option. Good. I want them. 2 months till railguns. I want to go back and look at autocannons. Oh my. 1 month. Okay, so after we get railguns, we're going to spend the extra month to get autocannons before we do our upgrades. And then I'll probably start working on habitats or something that will take a long time before I go back to upgrading ship components.
Research concluded.
The latest in electromagnetic accelerators, railguns use twin parallel rails to fire projectiles at incredible speeds. Alright, so let's knock out these autocannons. It'll only take another month, and then we can go through and redesign our ships.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Further study into the hazardous environments found on other planets help alleviate the difficulties that colonizers encounter in their day-to-day lives on foreign worlds. So we can get the fortress, which is the upgrade to the... I keep forgetting the name of the original building with the soldiers, damn it! Stronghold. See, the Hypercoms Forum is the largest one for the culture workers. Faction Unity bonus and the Deep Space Black Site, which will, if I put those on most of my planets, that will improve the stability on all those worlds. 2 years, less than 2 years. Both of these, actually that would be under a year, that would be a little over a year. That would be 2.5 years. That would be just under 2 years. So the fastest is actually the global defense grid. I don't believe I have a military theorist. I don't believe I have a biologist either. But I think nutritional plenitude would be of more benefit to me than the upgraded fortress. But we'll go ahead and knock out this one. Let's see, do I have... Yeah, he would have 5%. Okay, no, I don't have anybody else I could really stick over here. I do have a statecraft and a New Worlds. And I don't believe any of my technology options... Well, this one is statecraft. So is artificial moral codes, which boost overall amenities and reduces crime. And the hypercoms is also statecraft. Okay, let's go for the living state and put our statecraft person in here. That was the Asimov. So yeah, we will go for the living state to get the unity bonus from our factions. That would be a significant amount more unity. I don't believe I'm getting anything else adding to it right now, so it probably should add about 37 more points. Large caliber ballistic weapons that fire cased explosive shells. The main advantage of these cannons is their high rate of fire. Yeah, so now I don't really have any weapon upgrades here anyway. I could get the plasma thrusters, but that'll take 2 years. I could start working on it and do another upgrade around that time. But if I'm going to be spending 2 years on something, I'm still 10 years away from that. Actually, almost 12. Let's get started on the habitats. That will only take 2 years as well. And once we get the habitats going, we can really start boosting our science output. Now, it is time to redesign some ships. And I'm glad we got the first autocannon upgrade, because now I can really redesign these ships. Alright, this one's going to have the blue lasers. Alright, so the blue lasers do 2.83. The mining laser is 2.9. It has a little bit more minimum damage, a little bit more overall damage, and is slightly faster. So the level 3 lasers should be better than the mining drone laser. However, the mining drone laser is really good against hull, in addition to armor. Now, the difference in cost, 13, 7 power usage, 13, 7 power usage, identical. This does have shorter range, but this is a swarm ship anyway. So yes, I believe we will put mining drone lasers on there. Now for our torpedo boat, we have the small railgun. It does 3.8. This does 4.43. This is a short-range craft. We are going to have our because our torpedo boat is set to swarm, we are going to have it use autocannons. Autocannons, the railguns get a bonus to shields and penalty to armor. Autocannons get a bonus to shields, more penalty to armor, but bonus to hull. And the picket ship. So we've got point defense, a small blue laser, and a small railgun. This thing will be at 30 range. So I think we will give it also a mining drone laser and an autocannon. Now for our destroyers. Now, you can't get a large mining laser, so this one's pretty much going to be using the blue lasers and the null void beam. Let's do our other artillery first. Alright, now that I have the artillery computer, it is 10% to weapon range, so this one will have a range of 82.5 and be able to hit at the range of 80 that this is supposed to stop at. So yes, now this one is truly effective. Other medium weapons, with the exception of the null void beam, won't have the range. The lasers only have a range of 60. Even with 10%, they'll only go to 66. So both of these aren't really getting any change. My other artillery isn't getting a change either. I should have a fourth artillery, the artillery interceptor. The artillery interceptor is programmed to go to picket range. We are giving it autocannons. Now, another thing they're doing with the patch that is rehauling combat is they are making autocannons of all sizes. So you will have medium and large autocannons. They have a high rate of fire, but they will continue to have low range. They won't be like this artillery that has a range of 100. A large version of it will still only have a shorter range. So that is all of my artillery ships. Now we have the pickets. The pickets are also going to be switched to autocannons, because they are short-range craft. The picket interceptor likewise will have autocannons. I have another picket gunship. I believe we will give it autocannons as well. And I think we will go with the medium mining drone laser. It's got the same range. Damage is slightly less, but it does more hull damage. This thing also gets bonus hull damage, but less armor damage. Let's see. No, we will continue with the actual blue laser for tearing down armor. And yeah, there should only be 3 pickets. Alright, now the next ones to group together will be my gunships. We have a medium railgun. This thing is going to picket range right now, because it is an interceptor, and those have a range of 40. So since it's going to picket range, I think I will replace the small railguns with autocannons on the St. Louis. My gunship picket also goes to picket range, so we will also give it autocannons. And my gunship stays at line range. So we will keep it just the same. Yeah, we'll keep it the same. And that should be all of my destroyers. Now on my battleship, my cruisers, this one goes to picket range. It has scout wings. We are going to swap those out for the amoeba. It has flak batteries to protect against other strike craft and missiles. And it's going into picket range. These are medium weapons, however, not small, so I cannot give it, what is the word I'm looking for? Autocannons. However, since it's going to a range of 30, I can give it the mining drone lasers. Well, the mining drone lasers have the same range as this. This tears down shields very quickly. So I will be able to get started working on the armor and then get bonus damage to hull, because this also has a penalty to hull. So yeah, let's give it some medium mining lasers. Now this one has artillery range, so we will keep its mediums like that, and its larges aren't really going to change either. Yeah, so this one will remain unchanged. Now this one is coming into picket range, so we are going to replace the 2 front ones with autocannons. We will keep these as railguns, and we will keep the lasers. So now it has a mix of autocannons, railguns, and lasers, and it is picket range. Other than that, I could come up with some more defense platform designs, but I'm not really worried about setting up defense platforms yet. I can wait till I get more tech for that. That's something I will worry about as we get closer to potential attacks. Eventually I will build defenses here to protect myself from them, as well as on most of my borders, even if they are allied, just in case something can come in from there. So now that we have our designs, let's have a look at our fleets. The fleet manager tells me our power will go up. Okay, our power will drop changing these destroyers, but it'll go up for everything else. Now it's probably going to go down on these because most of these destroyers are, let's look at First Fleet again. Yeah, there's one. Well, that one would probably still go up. This one has level 4 lasers, so it would drop. And this one had level 4 railguns, so it would also drop. But I believe it's still worth it to tell them to upgrade. That's going to take a lot of alloys. Now, one thing I noticed is doesn't really seem to be refunding alloys again. That's one thing I could test really quick. Let's go ahead and say upgrade this. I'll test that after my ships are fully upgraded, and I canceled your patrol. Okay, after you upgrade that, come to Banus, because I accidentally canceled your patrol. Second Fleet, I do need to cancel your patrol. Actually, I need to change your patrol. I want you to patrol all the way down to Marquez. That entire area. But let's go to Fleet Manager before we tell you to upgrade. Every area will be gaining in value. So you go upgrade. Third Fleet. Yes, every one of these, will, except for the cruisers. The cruisers will be losing value because I think almost every cruiser is an upgraded design. Now, I can prevent the cruisers from upgrading if I really wanted to. Yeah, these had level 4s, level 4 lasers. I could prevent the cruisers from upgrading if I chose to after it queues it up. When they get to the star bases to upgrade, I can cancel specific upgrades it is doing. But I'm not that worried about it. I would rather them be my designs with my technology so I don't have to worry about it in the future. Now, you're just patrolling these two systems. For now, I'll keep you doing that. But we will have you upgrade. Now, this is all going to take a lot of alloys, so it's going to take some time before they all get fully upgraded. Where are you going to upgrade? You are going to Blorgsbane. You are going to Sol, and you are going to Sol as well. So I may... Is your home base... Your home base is Almac down here. Is yours Yilon? Yes. I might change your patrol route and have you patrol up to Yilon and move 3rd Fleet to patrol down here. And just not worry about this section. And just have 1st Fleet come up every now and then to wipe out any pirates that pop up. I may turn around and it's only got 7 right now. I may come back and build some defense platforms there. It would take, let's see, 3 defense platforms would give it a 6 defense. I may do that anyway. Yeah, while I've got the alloys before you start spending it, let us go ahead and add some defenses here. We'll add 2 far points. Actually, add 1 far point. And 1 far point here. And actually we could go ahead and add a second far point there. And then in a few months, if we have the alloys, add another far point here.
We are being hailed.
They finally want an embassy. The Sondrathans do. They are the vassals of the League of Brienne states. More embassies means more unity. One thing I can do, I just realized now, it will set me back about 3.5 months on my progress here. Let's see. Yeah, it'll jump me up to about 25 or 26. I can activate the Cybrex Warforge. That will give me another 1,000 alloys. I believe I'm going to do that. So that I can finish the defenses for this. We'll add a Guam here. And over in this one, we'll add another far point and a Guam. So they will all have their full defense platforms before I start upgrades. That way, if piracy does break out here, they have some decent defenses to hold it off. But yes, I believe after this ship upgrades... As a matter of fact, cancel your orders. You need to upgrade. And then I want you to go, let's see, here. And you will start a patrol from there down to Marquez. After, I'm going to cancel your orders. I'm going to tell you to upgrade and then return to Chaban. And then we'll have you patrol all the way up to Gorham. And of course I've got to redo this one. After you upgrade, go to Gossick. And then from Gossick we will do your patrol to Banus. Why didn't you finish surveys? There we go. You go survey and then go do the archaeological site. I must have canceled their surveys and decided to have them do that instead, but I want them to finish the surveys. Alright, you can see all the way down there now. It is time for me to head... Well, is that in a nebula? No. Is that in a nebula? No. So I should be able to see it from here. Go there. Actually, it looks like you'll be starting from that side. Go there. Yeah. And then we will see what is in that sector. After that, we will probably decide whether or not we're going to survey it. But we will also go to there. And from here, we're going to be going blind. Because this is a nebula. But that is not a nebula, and that is not a nebula. So going there, I should have visibility out to it. I believe I've actually gotten my minerals under enough of control. I can drop the mining subsidies. That will give me back another 200 unity, which should cut time off of this. Right now it would take 25 months at this rate because of the increase from me having spent the unity. Now that I go up to 1,000, basically every 4 months would be a free month. So that should knock about 6 months off of it and knock it back down to 19. So that should make up the difference in me having spent the unity. Because right now it should have been, technically been 20 months, and next month it would have been 19. So yeah, I think that's going to get us caught up. And we, as we get more prosperity, we should get our buildings built faster and cheaper, and eventually get an additional output for our researchers. Now the extra jobs from city districts aren't really that spectacular, but it will mean more available jobs for drawing population there. And the extra housing also helps with migration. So I was going to do the Mastery of Nature here, but it finally got to the point where it could upgrade to the System Capital Complex, so I'm going to hold off on that. This one also has 0, but it doesn't really need the pops as bad. I mean, the jobs as bad, so neither does this one, honestly. But those are my only 2 that are really in dire need of it. So I believe I will go ahead and do the decision here on Euxina. So it'll take a year to come out anyway. Now that does wipe out all of my energy credits, but I'll have the energy credits I spent on it back in 10 months. I think that does mean I'm going to have to delay, because I've only got 6 more months. No, I've got 5 months. That would only give me 1,500. I wouldn't be able. I'm going to hold off another year before I do the deal for exotic gases so I can get the larger amount. And yes, it did drop down to 19. Oh boy. The Hithian has embraced the Hithian Supreme Vanguard and become more xenophobic. So they're probably about to turn around and close their borders to me again. They are hegemonic imperialists. Yeah, I think they're about to close their borders to me almost immediately. They are becoming xenophobic because they're on the borders of threatening empires and don't really have a lot of agreements, apparently, with xenophilic empires.
Research concluded.
The weakest link in any security system are the individuals within it. By modeling their weaknesses in computer simulations, we can find novel ways to bypass their security, or trick them into bypassing it for us. The upgraded energy nexus, that will really boost our energy credits. I think it's time we probably knocked out some of the cheap dead-end technologies. We are about to do some archaeology. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the Curator Archaeology Lab. It will be fairly quick. And that is a technology that is a dead-end tech, so it won't take up another slot. It will basically give us one less thing we have to choose between. Pieces of an ephemeral puzzle. Various research stations across our empire have detected subtle distortions in hyperspace, centered upon the starbase at Earth. The effect presents in real space as a localized aurora, which starbase inhabitants describe as brightly colored gaseous tendrils enveloping the station. Furthermore, our allies in the Galactic Technologist Alliance report similar phenomenon in their capital systems. President Tetrana has called for an immediate and coordinated investigation into this matter. Now, this does a group federation project. Now, the problem with this is usually the AI will assign a scientist who is somewhere out in the things, and it takes them forever to get back. This is timed, and they usually don't make it back in time, honestly. So there's a good chance we're not going to complete this because our allies will assign a scientist who is too far away to make the journey back and do the research. Whereas me, I will interrupt a nearby scientist. Like since this is in Earth, I can pull either the Asimov or the Kelvin to come research it. If the AI would decide to do that, or even churn out a brand new ship and send it there, because let me see, where is the nearest ally? There are Pirac here, so they may make it back. And there are fire tribes there. But what are they doing? They're moving. Now let's look and see, because we have... Okay, we're in luck. It looks like all of our allies' researchers are close by. So they should be able to complete this. So we are going to do this. Each member of the Galactic Alliance will be tasked with a special project, a joint effort to find what links these phenomena.
Situation log has been updated.
And we have 3 years to do it. That's the problem. If they pick a scientist who would take more than 3 years to get back and do it. Now, I'm getting 68, 63 research there. On Friaka, I'm getting 72 physics, but less of the others. I'd be losing a lot of engineering research by pulling this guy. So we are pulling the one at Friaka. Well, let's check Plessis first. 68, 68, 78. Why am I getting so little of the other two researches here? Oh, because I have dimensional portal specialists that are giving me so much of the others. Okay, so yes, Friaka is the one to pull from. So let's have you research the projects in the system, and then return to assist research in Friaka on Avalon. Because I can do without that research. Now, how long is it going to take you to get there? 1 year. Now, the question is, are these guys going to get there in time? Now, it does add some pretty cool things to Earth with that cloud snag. It's this lovely looking nebula around Earth right now while the project is going on. But yes, that's one that research federations can get. And we've made some pretty good progress in our cohesion for now. But I am hoping that they complete their version of it within the year. I mean, within the 3-year period we got. Where are their capitals? Yeah, they've got the same cloud phenomenon around them. So we'll keep an eye on them. Okay, he's moving to the Toyama system. Where's he going from there? You're going this way. So both of them are headed back that way. What about the ones over here? You're proceeding onward. You're proceeding onward. You're proceeding onward. So we'll have to give them a little bit of time and see if any of these turn around. He's going to the Baham system, so he's proceeding outward that way. But we shall see if any of them turn around within the next few days. Both of them are going to Thurava. Ed is going to Ruthari. None of those three have turned around. They could actually churn out a new scientist and deal with it fairly quickly, honestly, as well. I wish I could research the projects for them. Alright, so we're not entering the enigmatic fortress space. Let's actually mark this as restricted. These two systems are unclaimed. But I want to push up this way and see what's here. So let's go to there. Alright, the League of Brian States has declared Yavorak their rival. Now that could have an impact since we are trying to get them in the Federation. We have a worker here to offload. The Odd Factory. And the moat harvesting on Altenia, I think, are the only two left. For now. So we will resettle with Storm. Him over here and see if he takes on the mode harvesting. He did. Good. So I just need one more of my synthetic workers. Even though they're not synthetic yet, I like to start them, naming them synthetics right off the bat. They're not sentient synthetics, but they are in fact synthetic life forms. But yeah, I need one more, and then I don't know what I'm going to switch that to. Probably something to support one of these worlds that does not have a robotic facility yet, like miners, to start sending over to Akatsuki. Or I could create miners to send over here to free up more people. Yeah, I think I will be supporting New Jamestown with miners. That way I can start getting the population up higher, because I think I need a 50 population to get the research institute. Yeah, it requires a planetary capital. And that requires 50 population or 25? Let me double check. It requires 25. So yeah, I only require 2 more population on this world to get the research institute. So I'll probably start supplying mining, synthetic miners over there.
Construction completed.
Blorgsbane is now fully outfitted. Alright, we are going to interrupt your regularly scheduled orders to have you go survey that system. We'll go ahead and check out this black hole.
Research concluded.
A shipboard lab with advanced archaeological equipment, including a vast database supplied by the Curator Order where new discoveries can easily be cross-referenced. Alright, what do we have access to now? More research speed would be really good. That would take a while, though. Upgraded hyperdrive would take over 2 years. More research station output. That should be the final for research station output. Shield capacitor. Or 2 year, a little over a year for, actually be under a year, for upgraded point defense. A year for the shield capacitor, which I'm not currently using, so that won't affect any ship upgrades. Yeah, over 2 years for the upgraded hyperdrive. That would cut down on patrol times. I think I'm going to go for the final research station output upgrade. I'm going to go ahead and swap out the person in the Nobel. With the one who needs the experience. Because he has a penalty to anomaly research speed in case I get an anomaly. Now, he would actually be a good one when I finish all the surveys here and go to do the archaeology. He would be a good one to turn into my archaeologist and research assistant, because he gets no penalties to that.
System survey concluded.
Speaking of which, he has got one final system to survey. It's got quite a few in it, though. Though we had surveyed some of it before we canceled the order, apparently. My upgrades are slowly plodding along. So that means piracy is building up while all my fleets are sitting there awaiting upgrades, because I bet... Well, yeah, they're actually going along fast enough to keep upgrading. In a few more months, we will no longer be losing experience. Actually, that was the final month. Now we are no longer losing experience. We got a favor from the League of Brienne States. Now that we're no longer losing experience, let's see... We are gaining 3.6. I can pull out two of my envoys. I can go back to both the Pirac and the Fire Tribes. Well, they are improving relations. What about the Pirac? They are not. So our relations have dwindled almost to be non-existent. So we are going to put the guy back in the Pirac. We will put Buffkin there. And actually, let's go ahead and put one back in the Fire Tribes of Kel to get favors. They have 7 favors from us. They owe us 1 favor. So yeah. And that one would be Egelkroon was the one who was originally there. And that should still keep us slowly earning cohesion and slowly leveling up. Now that does mean I do not have an envoy to assign here to the this place, but I don't really need it so much. I have fairly good diplomatic weight. I mean, I could really bump my diplomatic weight, but eh. Prime awareness score for cooperative research channels. Why does it say that? Oh, because that is the one that is coming up. And it should come up to vote at the end of next year. In 2278, December of 2278. And finally, that's a good one because it boosts research station output further and gives us more diplomatic weight from tech. Now that will actually hurt us. I believe most people have better tech than us right now, especially our allies. Let's see, the Fire Tribes of Kel have 538 while we have 472. Where are the Hazar? They have 476. We are actually catching up to the Hazar Pact. Huh. Oh, who proposed that? The Hithians. We have 2 more years to do the Cloud Snagged. I haven't seen any of my allies heading toward it yet, unfortunately. I am still 1 month out. But yeah, the problem is they don't interrupt their orders to go back and do it. So all of theirs are currently going out to explore something. It's going to wait until it has finished an exploration to send them back. Or at least finished one order that is given them. I don't know where all these people are going. They're headed way up that way. But yeah, he had one right here at the starbase, and he's sending it away when he could have knocked that out. And of course, they don't have one up here either.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
The Empire lives, the Empire breathes. We may make up its body, but it is not for the left-handed to know what the right hand is doing. It's a weird statement. Alright, naval capacity, 3 years, or 2.5 years. 2 years, 1.5 years for terraforming. Building slots, the ceramo metal infrastructure, also improves colony development speed. That's pop growth speed might be one to go for, but I could use the extra building slots. That would help out Earth. It would give me something else to build there. And we do have a New World specialist. So yes, a little over a year, and I'll have an additional building slot and colony development speed increases. Now I could go back to my star bases. Earth is... Let's see. Earth does need the one to push people off because its population is pretty much capped. But Storm and the others could definitely use the off-world black site, because that will help the stability on those planets. Especially systems that have multiple planets in them would be a good target for that. But I think there's only one system that has multiple planets, and that's this one. So I could change out the transit hub here for the off-world black site, or deep space black site. That would end up producing unity and giving stability to the planets. Now the planets in this system, they have an 80 stability. I don't have the alloys for it right now anyway. That's something I will consider later. I do need to get more star bases to throw star bases over some of my colonies that don't have them. But yeah, actually I could get rid of the transit hubs altogether at this point. I think people will shift from world to world just fine without the bonus doubling the chance to move. Because, I mean, it only went from like 6% to 12%.
The special project has concluded.
Our investigation of the aurora-like cloud at Earth raised more questions than it answered. Distinct tendrils of cloud form whenever we beam communications to our allies' research teams, but only then. Appearing to us in vibrant green, these vapor movements have been described as somehow beckoning and purposeful. On our own, we are unable to discern any further meaning from these behaviors, but the Galactic Technologist Alliance expects to have more answers once every member's results are collated. Early theories proposed suggest these dimension-spanning entities somehow harmonize with our hyperspace communication bands. This accidental lure could be kept in place in order to further exploit the entity for study, or we could switch frequencies in the hopes of dispersing it. Do we want to keep them trapped to study it? Is that harmful to it? They're harmonizing with our hyperspace communication bands. Let's set it free. Now, we still have 2 years for them to finish the project before anything comes of this. Surveying Rimok 4. Where is Rimok 4? Yeah, you're surveying Rimok, which is over the, up there. All right. Now that I can see your orders a little better, you're surveying Yiva. You're surveying Asikwa. You're surveying Tonalith. You're surveying Zirak. Surveying Fedima. Surveying Wendell 5A. None of you have even queued up that you have a project to do in the Kell system. Some help you bastards are. Yes, this is disappointing. They probably will not get somebody back, especially the Pirac, who's like way down here, will probably not get back to complete their part of the project. That's disappointing. I wish the AI would prioritize it a little more. Oh, I take it back. He has somebody going to do his cloud snagged. He did turn somebody around. Now, when are you turning somebody around? When are you going to direct somebody to do cloud snagged?
System survey concluded.
Alright, you've got some travel time before your next one, so I'm going to swap you back out with this guy because he is in the middle of doing surveys. And now he is on his way to do archaeology, so we will swap him out for Ghent and let Ghent do the archaeology while my surveyor continues doing surveys. Excavate that site and then assist research where? I guess Blizzard? No. We'll actually have you come all the way to Dis to assist research after you finish the archaeology. So I have gone ahead and picked up the Zerkor trade. That's the Zerkor way. Our freighters will begin making deliveries immediately. By purchasing this product, you agree that Zerkor cannot be held responsible for any adverse effects that may result from its use, including but not limited to skin irritation, psychotic episodes, ocular discoloration, aggressive mutation, increased colonist suicide rates, precognitive trances, biosphere depletion, dangerous strangelet production, micro black hole generation, grain elevator explosions, societal collapse, mass extinction events, unexpected supernova detonations, the complete or partial destruction of your star nation, sudden gamma ray bursts, time travel paradoxes, vacuum metastability events, universal entropy, the collapse of the space-time continuum. Alrighty. So we should have positive exotic gases. Our rare crystals are actually starting to dwindle now. That is unfortunate, because I don't think I have a way to up it. I think I built one too many things, but in 2 months we will have access to habitats, so sooner or later we will get a refinery habitat up and running that will take care of most of these. For now, let us add a new monthly trade. For rare crystals, we just want one. Because we cannot afford for our rare crystals to be dwindling. We don't have that many. Buildings are taking 14.8 now. Now we can fix that. We can knock it down by 1.4 actually. In 2 months we will get our first tradition. And I was going to get reduced cost and increased building speed. But I think I will go for reduced upkeep, because that will knock out 10% of the upkeep needed of rare crystals. Yeah. Right now I think we're already down 10% possibly. It depends. Well, not fully 10%, but some of the buildings are built on urban worlds and are getting a reduction. But yeah, a full 10% would really be helpful. It's going to drop it by at least 1 and get us back up to a positive monthly gain. But we definitely need to increase, because eventually I would like to get done. I've got 2 more years left on this deal. I would eventually like to stop buying from them, because I'm not gaining anything out of continuing the trade. It's not giving me opinion with them, which is the whole reason I like to do it, is to build up opinion so I have access to their governors. But yeah, once I get some refinery habitats up and running, and so that, I guess that means the first habitat I need to build will be a refinery. I was going to do the research station here in Earth that I have, let's see, The one in Almac is going to be a refinery. So that is probably the first one I'm going to do. This one would be mining. And this one would be research. And right now I think the refinery is more pressing. Oh, we can now get a migration treaty with the Garanshu. More migration treaties means more sources for you to get immigration from. So I am going to offer that. Plus it will also help build up trust with us. Now, unfortunately, they are still rivaled to the other members of the Federation, so they have no interest in being associated with us. Even though the Pyrrhic hierarchy does want them in, associated with us, they won't associate with the Pyrrhic hierarchy. And neither of them actually want them in the Federation, but the Pyrrhic would like them to be an associate. Yeah, they do not like the Fire Tribes of Kel and the Pyrrhic. Both the Pyrrhic and the Fire Tribes like the Alvathari. Yeah, the reason they're voting no for adding more members right now is because our cohesion is low. They don't want to add more members until our cohesion builds. But yeah, right now we still have a distance modifier. This would be another good empire to add because they are also erudite explorers. Of course, they don't like the Tezekian Hive. Speaking of the Tezekian Hive, Fire Tribes of Kel don't want them in, but the Pyrrhic and I do. Let's see, the Pyrrhic and I together would be a majority. So yes, we can offer them association status, and that will start building relations with them and the Fire Tribes. So let us offer them association status. Now, one thing I have to check though, if the other associates don't really like them much, they may decide to end their association status. So I got to make sure they're on pretty good terms. They have a research agreement with the Brian states. The Brian states do like them. Let's see, they probably closed their borders to the Hazar Pact, so the Hazar Pact won't. But hopefully the Hazar Pact will stay associated. But yes, let us offer them association status. And I believe between me and the Pyrrhic, we should get them association status. Yes, we agreed to offer it to them. Let's see what they think of it. It did say that they would accept.
Research concluded.
Alright. They agreed to the migration treaty. And we have habitats. Allows the construction of largely self-sustaining orbital habitats. Alright, what do we have now? Modular engineering is a reduction to building and modules on starbases. Most of my starbases are full up. That would be good when I upgrade again with star fortresses though. City district housing, not really that critical, but it's cheap. I think I'm going to go for the destroyer hull points. That actually has the most value to me and is fairly cheap. It'll take a year. And I forgot to check. No, it did not throw down the rare tech down here with the 1 month of progress I gave it. Now that we have access to habitats, let's see, I think it takes 50, it might be 150. Yeah, I think it's 150. Let's see. Build megastructure, 150 influence for each of these. And they take a long time to build. That's 1,600 days. That's over 5 years. No, that's between 4 and 5 years. 5 years would be 1,800 days. And 4 years would be 360 away from that, which would be about 1440. So yeah, that's about 4.5 years. And it takes a chunk of alloys, which it won't be a problem when I'm done upgrading ships. But the big issue is the influence. That is going to take me a while. Alright, they agreed to be associates. That means they should be building up relations with everybody who's a member and possibly other associates. I don't necessarily know if it builds up trust between associates. Oh, still another month. It must have gotten delayed a month because my empire size grew. Oh, I forgot to check on... Oh, you are surveying systems, that's right. But we got good visual over here now. We pretty much can see all of the Tezekian hive's territory. The Vingralian Trium was created for commerce. It is a Vingralian blood analog. Not engaging in commerce is wrong. So, show us your wares. More bauble collection for a science ship. Not interested, move along. I don't need a horde of consumer goods. I am doing fine with my economy now. Alright, we are going to do the administrative operations. As our empire continues to grow, eliminating corruption and inefficiency is of critical importance. These credit drains must be plugged. It'll drop down my upkeep and district upkeep by 10%. My building and district. And it will be another 3 years before we get another one, which I will probably jump on to creative collectives at this point. That boosts my specialist pop resource output. Specialist pops will include refiners when I get them, but that's the research bonus would be nice. And then we'll come back to get standard construction templates, public works division, before finally adding the extra clerk jobs for the finisher. There's one thing to note here. The rural world specification is adding 10% to the resource output of my worker pops, is what it says. That includes my miners, because you can see it down there, it says rural world. It does not affect these because these are not resources. But it does not affect strategic resource gatherers. This only affects the regular resources, not the strategic. So while this is 10% more minerals, 10% more energy, my overall energy is got huge bonuses. 10% wouldn't be missed. I think I'm actually going to switch this to Urban World, because I do have research labs and holotheaters and the Cyto Revitalization Center here to cut down on the strategic resources, and that will also greatly reduce my energy credits, and I don't really need that big of a boost to minerals anymore. And that will help the city district build a little faster as well. Yeah, like I said, a lot of times toward the mid to late game, most of my colonies become urban worlds for the upkeep reduction. Yeah, you can actually see how much it changes. I believe I saw the value change when I clicked it. Let's click off of this world and back on. Yeah. Alright, so I'm getting 101, 14 energy, and 101 food. If I switch this over to urban, I didn't lose any energy credits because I saved it on things. I only lost 3 food out of that. So urban is, the rural was good to speed up the building of these and give me a little bit of boost early on, but now urban is a better choice for the reduction in upkeep. Now the specific ones like generator are still better. Right now I'm getting 93 energy. I'd be losing 13 energy credits by switching it to an urban world. And right now I don't really have any really expensive buildings, upgraded buildings here, so generator is still a better one for this one. I think for now, I'm going to go ahead and build exotic gas refineries and rare crystal places to get my amount up until I get the habitats up and running. Yeah, when I get this city district built, I will probably add some refineries here. And change of plans. I was building food processing facilities here. I think I am going to go with the rare crystal. Or synthetic crystal plants. Because my numbers are kind of low. That makes it more difficult for me to upgrade. So yeah, I do need to spam out a few more of these. Sondertham broke their migration with the League of Brian States. They're their vassals. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they're a Stellarium, as a matter of fact. First Fleet is about 80% done upgrading. Ubarik is rivals with Ubarik. Interesting. Yeah, I could build a research institute here, but I lack the exotic gases to build it, much less the upkeep for it. So, yeah, I definitely need more refineries. Been keeping an eye on this guy since he's just being sent to survey one planet. I think he's going to come back and do the cloud study when he is done. He's almost there to start it.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Another favor with the Tzekians. Studying something from the limited perspective of a single-dimensional reality does not paint the whole picture. Every angle must be considered. Defense Grid supercomputer. That's for star bases. Chemical plants. That's the last one of those. FTL inhibitors. Fortress buildings will inhibit FTL, and all star bases automatically will. More energy credits. That ups my defense platform cap. That's not really a huge thing that I worry about. See, I could actually do that in 3 years. That unlocks further covert espionage and such. That would only take 7 months, as would that. More energy credits would not be bad, and that will only take a little over a year. Between a little under a year and a half, actually. Let's see. I could knock out both of these in that same time, though. And both of these are dead-end techs. Let's get the chemical plants. That way we'll have our final refinery.
Ship upgrades applied.
First Fleet has finally been fully upgraded. It now has a 6.3k military power. It's going to take them 8 months to get where I want them before I have them set. Why are they moving to the Banus system before going to the Gossek? I must have given them 2 orders. So let's just have them move to the Banus system. Yeah, that will take about 8 months. What about the Gossek? That will be faster. Let's have them move to the Gossek system, so in about 7 months I can get them started on their patrol. Greetings, humans! We understand that your empire has come into possession of a cache of data containing the brain scans of an extinct species, taken from the very world they once inhabited. Even though your species is still too primitive to utilize this data, we laud your efforts in preserving the last remnants of a once vibrant civilization. As part of our efforts to conserve and catalog endangered species in our Endangered Species Preserve, we wish to take this data and use our cloning technologies to bring a small number of this species back to life. Will you share it with us so we can fulfill their last wish together? So we can make a copy for them. That still leaves us with a version to do something we want. Or just say we'll hold on to it. I'll make the copy. They will create the Shapa there in their endangered species preserve, and it will give us reputation with them. So we will do that. The results of our findings have been collated. It would seem that every instance of barely sentient aurora cloud at our Federation's capital was, in fact, part of a single living entity. As best the researchers can tell, this hyperspace-dwelling entity drifted into our Federation space by accident, whereupon it became snagged on our busiest spaceborne communications relays, those which serve our capital starbases. Researchers agree that the gaseous entity was attempting to reconstitute itself, a task it could otherwise not achieve in such a fragmented state. After it reformed, the cloud disappeared back into hyperspace, but not before visiting a number of our Alliance's research stations. At each one, it performed a number of precise movements in and out of hyperspace, a display which some witnesses describe as resembling a dance. These demonstrations of the cloud's innate ability to traverse the hyperspace barrier have provided us with invaluable data. So that gave us a bonus to society and physics research for 10 years and added cohesion to us. So they actually did finish it, it appears. Though that time project is still popped up there. Now it's gone. Good. So we actually did get a completion on it. So the Pirac must have just finished their study, basically. And maybe they're doing a Stellarium sensor anomaly. So yeah, they must have just completed it. And now they're going to do an anomaly. And I guess I must have missed that the Kel had already done it. Interesting. So that means that these... yeah, it's already faded from our system. Let's see if it's still in theirs. They still have it. Do the Kel still have it? They do not. So the Kel and I released it, but apparently the Pirac decided to keep it. But yeah, I guess he's not going to be headed this way, but we'll see. It looks like they've already completed it, which is good. Senate vote was passed. That one was the readied shield, I believe. Yes. So it gave us diplomatic weight from fleet power and naval capacity. The next 2 years before cooperative research channels come up. But yes, the ready shield was passed. It also boosted our naval capacity. We have enough to do another full fleet since we have a 60 fleet capacity. But what I'm actually going to be doing with my naval capacity is I'm actually going to make fleets specifically to patrol based on the piracy in the area. This one has a fairly low max piracy. You only need suppression. It says down here to reduce piracy, your fleets patrol the system. Smaller ships have smaller piracy suppression. Let's see. Because base trade value is greater than piracy suppression, current piracy will grow. So it says you need piracy suppression equal to the trade value to stop basically piracy. But to stamp out piracy that is there when you are patrolling, you just need piracy suppression in excess of the max piracy. So I don't need 37.48 piracy suppression. I only need 9.34. And if I look at my ships, just look at one fleet, please. If I look at my ships, like the corvettes here, oh, it's not showing it. But the Corvettes, I believe, have... It's by hull size. There we go. Corvettes have 10 piracy suppression. So to be able to suppress the piracy in this area, I only need 1 Corvette. Though I actually tend to like to increase it higher so that it drops it down faster. So I could probably put 4 Corvettes on this route, and maybe about 7 Corvettes over here. Maybe 10 Corvettes on that route, and about 6 Corvettes on this route, and they should keep the piracy out, and I can have my actual fleets be able to ready to go do something else. Because if anybody declared war on me, and I had to pull my fleets to go fight, it would make the piracy break out horribly, because my fleets would be pretty far away at the war. So I do like to have dedicated fleets for patrolling, at least until I get rid of piracy altogether. Then I can shuffle those ships into something else. And I forgot to test my theory. I'm going to have to wait till one of these other fleets is completed. Got another favor with the Alvathari. 2.5 years away from increasing our build speed and reducing the cost of buildings and districts. Actually, no. We're going for the specialist pop resource output, because that will also affect, now that we started building them, refiners are actually a specialist pop. I don't know if any of mine are completed yet. No, none of my refineries have been built yet, but I was going through my, now that I have more intel on other people, going through, I just noticed citizen state of Hasuk has Here Be Dragons as their origin. I must have overlooked that when we were going through. I know Commonwealth of Man is Lost Colony. Let's see, Darbalin is still an unknown origin. My intel is capped at 30 right now with them. Are they not members of the Galactic Council? I don't think they've been invited, they've joined the Galactic Council yet. That could be why I only have 30. Of course, we know the Fire Tribes of Kel, they were Prosperous Unification. Galactic Tebadoran were Enlightened. They were a enlightened primitive civilization. Garanshu were Prosperous Unification, as were the Hazar Pact. We still don't know the Hithians. League of Brian States were Syncretic Evolution. League of Phemisto were Separatist. We do know that. They were broke off from Commonwealth of Man. We don't know the Pelasimis yet. Pirak were Syncretic Evolution. We knew that. We do not know the origin of the Prime Awareness yet. The Sondrathan were an enlightened species. Tezekians were Prosperous Unification. Wish this would scroll down faster. We do not know the Til-Linesi origin. The Uberic Alliance were liberated. This civilization came into being after being liberated from another empire. That means that the Uberic company was the victim of a liberation war. We do not know their origin. Now, we've been missing out a little bit by not being in good terms with a megacorp. They could have been putting buildings on my colonies. We might actually consider that. I would need a commercial pact with them, which means I will need to up relations with them. And then they could build holdings on my worlds that would give me more jobs and be beneficial to both of us. Are they the only mega corporation that I have seen? I think they are the only mega corporation I've seen. They were enlightened. They were a prosperous unification. They were a prosperous unification. Prosperous unification is by far the most common one. We do not know what the Yevzorak were. But yeah, let me see. Maybe the Pirac. No, we still need to improve relations with them a bit more. We've got the Hazar Pact, and okay, Garanshu is also improving relations with me, so I can spare the one in that for now. I would like to get relations up with the Mega Corporation so that they can start establishing holdings in my empire. Well, actually, before I do that, let me check the Fire Tribes of Kel. They are improving relations as well, and they're also in a federation with me. I've already got pretty much every agreement I need with them. They're the ones I can spare. So let us improve relations with Elga Kroon and see if we can't get relations up a little bit here, maybe establish an embassy, and eventually get a commercial pact with them so that they can start building holdings on my worlds. That will give me more jobs. I also sent out a research agreement to the Sondrathans because we could accept that now. That will help shift them to my ethics, because both egalitarianism and xenophilia tend to transfer the more agreements you have. Now, one thing I haven't checked in a while, got another favor from the League of Brian States. One thing I haven't checked in a while is my factions. So we have a bunch of xenophile and some egalitarian. The attraction of our Pop's authoritarian is currently affected by the following. Pop has high living standards and the Empire has democratic authority. Both of those are negative. So we have no encouragement toward authoritarian. We have a lot of encouragement toward egalitarianism because we are egalitarian. We have high living standards. We have diplomatic pacts with other egalitarians, and we have a democratic authority. We have negative influence toward xenophobia because we have Xeno leadership species rights. There are free Xenos on our planets, and our empire has migration treaties with other Xenos. So the migration treaties with other empires is what really attracts people to xenophilia. As you can see here, yeah, the xenophile governing ethics, the ruler is the faction leader. There are free Xenos on my planets. Empire has diplomacy with Xenos. Any diplomacy with Xenos is an attraction to this. Migration treaties with Xenos is more. And the Pop lives on a planet with charismatic Xenos. Oh, interesting. Now, we do have some attraction toward militarist because we have Pops that are strong or very strong. Pops that are weak tend to be not attracted to militarist. Pops that are weak tend to be attracted to pacifism. So we do have some attraction to pacifism with certain Pops. Spiritualist, we have full rights for AI, and we have robotic Pops on the planet, so there's no attraction to spiritualism. As for materialist, we do have cybernetic Pops. We have robotic Pops on planets with non-robotic Pops. We have full rights for AI. We have research agreements with materialist empires, and one of our Pops has a natural science trait. So we do have some attraction to materialist empires, to materialist factions, but our Xeno is like really overblowing that. Oh yes, I want to check my policies. Robotic workers are allowed. Artificial intelligence, yeah, I gave them citizen rights. Now, I haven't researched artificial intelligence yet, so that's not a big issue so far. I also haven't checked the slave market recently. A Sutharian, Ocean World, Ingenious, Talented, and Communal. Do I have any Sutharians? I do not. I wish this list was in alphabetical order. It'd be easier to scan. So we could grab one of these. Do we have any ocean worlds? We have a Gaia world we could throw them on. But no, we actually do not have any ocean worlds. It would take 5,000 energy credits to hire this person and free them from slavery. Because there's a base cost plus traits improve it. I don't want to spend the money on that right now. I don't need the population that bad.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Stronger alloys allow us to create prefabricated buildings, providing our colonies with improved infrastructure. Xeno Relations will give us an upgrade to the embassy complex. It will add another envoy. That one will take 3 years, or 2.5. A year and a half for upgraded food processing centers. Just a year to get upgraded food from farmers in general and the nutritional plenitude edict. And I believe that's... it'll be 10 months just to get the upgraded fortress, which will boost our naval capacity and give us more jobs on worlds with fortresses. And we have plenty of volatile motes right now. I think I'm going to go for the gene crops first. And I'll just go ahead and leave Trick there. Advances in building techniques will allow for the construction of sturdier and more durable destroyers. Now what do we get access to? The orbital ring is a starbase variant that forms a band encircling the planet, providing defense and additional specialization. It would take 25 months, just a little over 2 years. Upgraded mining station output. We could finally upgrade our strike craft and give us the hangar bay starbase module. I don't currently have strike craft on any ships, so this would not make me need to upgrade any ships, just some defense platforms. And this one is really quick, 6 months. The orbital ring would be nice. I've never used the orbital ring. It changes out your starbase. And I'm assuming that means it also takes starbase capacity because it is a starbase variant. But I have never used the orbital ring, so I know very little about it. But for now, I think we will knock out the carrier operations. Simply because it's quick and will give me access to the hangar bays so that I can start actually, when I get more star bases, start actually doing something. But I think I may end up... Which world would I want an orbital ring around? If it's a starbase variant, would it get rid of the starbase in the system and replace it? Or do they mean, or does it take the place of a habitat? I actually don't know anything about the orbital ring. I'm going to have to look that up. We're getting close to where we can, we're about halfway to getting our first habitat, enough influence for our first habitat. And we could, it would be 3,000, we'll get that back in 3 months. So we are going to use the Cybrex Warforge to get more alloys. 4,000 alloys will become 2,000, 4,000 minerals will become, that's twice as much as it started out as. It started out as 2,000, turns into 1,000. Now it's 4,000 into 2. Oh, it goes up every time you use it. I see that. And it gradually gets more and more. But yeah, that should allow us to finish upgrading our ships at least a little bit quicker. They're surveying debris. What did they fight? What did you end up killing here? Huh? Hazar Pact is now rivaled with the Verzak. Ah yes, and now we have an extra building slot on Earth. We can build something else. But I don't think there's any buildings I actually want to stick here right now. Because what I want is the Ministry of Production and the Auto-Curating Vault. Those are going to be my last two buildings. Now, I could build something else in the meantime to kind of take its place, but then I'd probably end up with people who have to leave. Well, I could build... These only provide one. Yeah, we can build some synthetic crystal plants and rare exotic gas refineries. That will give us a job, and it's a job that we could replace with the bureaucrat or whatever comes with the vaults. So yeah, right now I need more crystals, so we'll go with the synthetic crystal plant here on Earth. And yes, let's just go ahead and fill out additional building slots with these until we can move them off-world, basically. And actually, let's alternate. This one will be exotic gas refinery. Let's go ahead and get a research institute going here on Ultinia. It's my physics research area. The Hithian made peace with the Verzak. Verzak actually got some of their systems.
An alien nation is hailing us.
They are? Who did I just encounter then? I didn't get any pop-up. I just made contact with somebody, apparently. But I did not get a pop-up due to it. Ah. We bow to no aliens. Another, Marauder Empire was discovered. It did not give me influence or the pop-up for it, so that meant it was discovered because of shared sensors with other people. An urgent message from Avalon explains that a number of now former members of the Vingralian Trium seek political asylum on the planet. The local administration has seen fit to pass the decision of what to do with them up the chain of command. So we can get 3 Vingral Pops or turn them away. We will get 3 Vingral Pops on Avalon. Now, where was Avalon? Let's check out these new Pops we just got. It says we got 3 Vingral Pops. There they are. Tundra preference, industrious, resilient, but solitary. Housing is not a problem for me. So we got some miners, basically. Well, that's going to be a little bit more minerals for me. So some Vigralium joined us. Now, actually, the actual species of Vigralans from are, I think, they don't have a planetary preference unless they join your planets. Let's see. Species, galaxy species. Now, it takes a little bit to update. The more you have in the game, you can switch off and back on, and it will usually update immediately. Let's see. We'll go down to the V's. Okay. Half Tebadorans. But yeah, I guess I was wrong. See, I was thinking like the others generally have like a habitat preference and stuff like that, but if they join your empire, they get a, like these guys, the Rothak. If some of them happen to join my empire, instead of being habitat preference, they would get whatever planet they settle on through the event. But that works. Getting some more members. So those are the other, I wonder if that is the last one or if there are two more.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Aside from the obvious safety concerns, the artificial creation of volatile motes is an extremely delicate and complicated process that requires highly specialized equipment. Upgraded energy nexus looks to be, because I'm not that interested in disruptors, honestly. Looks to be the next choice. We'll have it next year. That will allow us to upgrade. Of course, it requires exotic gases, but it will up our energy credits from all technicians and give us an extra technician job on worlds we build that on. Second Fleet only has one ship left to upgrade, one of the cruisers. Third Fleet has two cruisers that are upgrading, and then it will be done.
Ship upgrades applied.
Second Fleet is now fully upgraded, and I haven't remembered to put First Fleet on patrol. Patrol to Banus. Now, before Second Fleet moves off, let me do my little test. Alright, so let's go into the ship designer and let us create an empty ship design. Whip it. That sounds good. Alright, now, if we go to Second Fleet and the Fleet Manager, let's retrofit the torpedo boats to the Whippets. Now, if I choose to upgrade them, yes, you no longer get alloys back anymore. They closed that little loophole that people used to do at the start of a game, is design empty ships and retrofit into them, so you no longer get that. So let's go back to our Fleet Manager. Retrofit this back to the torpedo boat. And as soon as you get to Chiblain in 5 months, I will set up your patrol if I don't forget it. Let's see. And let's go back to the ship designer and get rid of the Whippet. I just made that as a test. So yes, that information I gave at the start of our playthrough has changed already.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Got a favor with the Hazar Pact? These manned strike craft are launched from a mothership and rely on their speed and small size to survive long enough to punch through enemy defenses. Now everything's getting expensive. The advanced railgun would get us on par with everybody else. More minerals, that would be nice. The Ripper autocannon, oh yes, I like that one. Reducing the cost of cruisers. That in turn also reduces their maintenance, I believe. And the Star Fortress. That would allow me to build, upgrade most of my star bases to have more building slots. So I could upgrade this trade center to collect the full 6 in trade. It would be 18 months before I got the advanced railguns, 2 years to get the Ripper autocannons, and a little under 2 years to get the Star Fortress. Now I haven't seen battleships yet because I don't have enough, I think it's tier 3 technologies unlocked. So I would have to get some of these expensive ones to like the cruiser patterns is one of them, as well as the Star Fortress. I'm not sure if these railguns, the railguns might count, but I don't think the Ripper autocannons do. I think they're actually a tier lower. Let's actually get the Star Fortress while we still have this awesome Voidcraft researcher. I mean, she gets plus 30% for Voidcraft. And the Hazarans already have Star Fortresses. Now, since we upgraded our strike craft, we can go to these areas that I have built, those defense platforms, and upgrade them. I cannot recall if I built them here. I did. Nimmelin probably has one as well. Oh, I never actually upgraded those from the old far points, I think. Probably not here at Chiblain either. Nope. So now all of those defense platforms will be fully upgraded. Scientist Claire Farrell has died. Where were you? You were the one assisting research at Friaka. Let me check before I do this. Let's go to contacts. Let's go to the curator order. Could we recruit one of your scientists? We are willing to pledge the service of one of our most brilliant scientists to your cause. This is not an offer we make to just anyone, you understand. A suitable donation will of course be necessary before traveling arrangements can be made. So it's 1,000 energy credits. I'll have that back in 2 months. Excellent! You will now have unfettered access to one of the greatest minds of our time. So, first let's go to technology. And let's have a look at this guy. Improved research speed by 15%. He's good for everything. We will put him in our society research. That will make this come along a little faster. And in this ship, we will put our New World Specialist. And have him assist at Avalon.
Ship upgrades applied.
Alright, our starbase fleets are being upgraded. That'll happen pretty quickly. The other 4 should pop up about the same time.
Ship upgrades applied. Ship upgrades applied.
Oh, a slight difference. 3rd fleet is finally fully upgraded. Now, how far out is 2nd fleet? 4 more months. 3rd fleet has got a year to get into its position. The Prime Awareness has vanquished an ancient threat in the distant Kanagi system. It took out the scavenger bot. So the Prime Awareness has the fleet capacity to handle Leviathans now. We are way behind on our military.
Our station is under assault.
Alright, the Kea system has attracted a large number of ne'er-do-wells, and following a recent power struggle, these criminal degenerates are now sufficiently organized to operate a significant pirate armada. They're using this ragtag fleet to intercept as much trade in the system as they can. Where is this? Okay, that's down that way. That is where this guy is going. But it's going to take him a year to get there. In the meantime, they are easily going to defeat this poor starbase. And then they are going to go about destroying my mining and research facilities in the system. And disrupting trade that comes through. So yes, it took me a little too long to get my patrols up and going. So I'll have a slight disruption in my economy. That's not a huge amount to lose. I'll deal with the pirates when I get around to it. Or possibly, depending on where they're headed, the Vingralian Trium could deal with it for me. Also the possibility the space amoebas could help out with these pirates. Depends on how much damage I do to them.
System survey concluded.
Orcum Fung is completed. Now we are on our way this way. Those are both nebula, so we're actually going to have to do blind jumps. So let's survey that system. Yeah, they're tearing down my poor little outpost fairly quickly. Looks like we may take out the public servant. Possibly. Yeah, we got one of them at least. Working on a second. But yeah, we're spreading out our damage too much. I have a bad feeling that our starbase is going to fall. Yeah, it's already out of armor. It's got 4,000 hull. So it could last a potential while and take out a couple of more ships. But I don't believe it's going to hold long enough. Yeah, it's already down to half hull. Uruxo is in the Oshamir system. They are Bronze Age. But yes, I'm pretty sure we're about to lose, unless we get lucky and the amoebas come into the system. Doesn't look like they're moving. Or somebody else passes through this system that can help fight. Nope, the Vingralium are going the other way. And we are still quite a ways out with any of our ships.
Research concluded.
Sophisticated genetic engineering of crops helps increase yield and further improves both taste and nutrient levels. Tomb world habitability. That could be helpful considering how many tomb worlds we currently have. Matter of fact, I think we'll go for that. And I don't need to swap this guy out for somebody else because they all get 15% for their specialty. So yeah, I can just keep this guy in here for now. That will greatly help out my tomb worlds. At least the non-robots, non-dis aboard on the tomb worlds. Alright, now I can set up this one's patrol. have you patrol to Gorham. What the hell? Let me check trade routes. Yeah, you're not patrolling this system, damn it. That's the system that my trade route is going through. You know what? I do have full fleets, star bases in here. Let's just have you, actually, patrol from there to there. Well, I don't really need to. The trade value on that is low. So yeah, let's just have you patrol the way you're patrolling. I will worry about that if piracy breaks out in it. But now that I've given you the order, I'm going to control shift click and have you come here. Because we're about to lose that star base and I want to take out these damn Reavers. I don't even think it's going to get another one taken out. It's been splitting its damage among too many of them. Oh, it'll take you a year to get there. So yeah, we only took out one, and now he is going to proceed to blow up all of our research stations and mining stations. It appears that a mischievous third party was able to hack into the translation software of our envoy to the Hazar Pact, Adrimga, so that his magnanimous platitudes instead became vicious insults that left none unscathed, not the least their warlord, who is declared to be a vile shroom. Fortunately, the malfunction was swiftly uncovered and the Hazari took the incident with a sense of humor. Indeed, recordings of the inappropriate United Nations of Earth envoy are circulating wildly, causing much mirth among their people. Yes. So they would like me to renew the deal for rare crystals. We will pass on your rare crystals for now because we are building things that will take care of my rare crystal deficit. And I'm not getting anything out of making the deal with them, actually. Somebody joined the Alliance. The Darbalin Empire have finally joined the Galactic Community. So yes, that was... The Darbalins weren't actually a member of the community. I'm still limited to 30 intel on them right now. And do not know their origin. Do a quick check on that mega corporation. Oh, we are still a ways away from even getting an embassy with them. And it has been another 5 years. So we'll have to deal with this piracy at a later time. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.